Go back to the title screen.
Okay.
Might not be a bad idea to save,
That's
too.
what I was thinking, yeah. I'll save it a separate slot, just in case.
Okay. Return to title. What do you see there?
I mean, I see a mermaid. And I see... it looks like there's a portal there, and the... Oh.
What are we looking to find?
A mermaid?
We are.
Yeah.
So, we need to poke her 4 times, but 3 seconds in between each poke.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Unless that was too fast.
I think that was a little too fast.
Okay. So,
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I guess that was still too fast.
Or too slow.
Hmm. There we go. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Do we say Sobae?
We are Yuza.
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
Severed consciousness. I mean, you're right there. Okay, so we're in Ryugu.
We've been here the whole time.
Go figure.
I love it when the game pulls shit like this.
Yeah.
This is why I love this series.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean by boundary?
Space that connects two worlds you can travel between. Fair. What happened the day of the disaster? Yeah, figured.
You're SOL.
Yeah, you're stuck this way. Fair. Alright. Nori's who... Okay. Becoming unable to return to Ryugu, she had ceased to show herself on the surface. Let's see, in the past, any humans she encountered either treated as object or worship or saw her flesh.
Mari was just like, "Sup, bro?
Yeah.
How you doing? Want to go throw Molotov cocktails at boats?" Apparently, I've decided Mari is Jason now.
Mary had originally resolved to remain single and never start a family of her own, to devote herself entirely to her duty with Sobe. Okay, so she... yeah, ended up finding love. Moving to Kamishima, she met Tosuke Minakuchi. Let's see... to reach a compromise, she'd meet when the time came for her to return to Ryugu. To continue, years pass, her son growing all well, until obviously the disaster happened. Days leading up, strange rumbling, heard from the sea. The curse was coming. Means that Ryugu's entrance should be lifted. Let's see.
So she wasn't going to save the everything. She was going to meet her friend.
Yeah. See, Mari took Tosuke and Yusa into the band about to introduce him to Sobe as promised. Pained by having to part with Sobe, she was buoyed by the thought that she would now be able to devote herself fully to motherhood and to her family. Sobe Mio was secretly trailing them from the seabed. Disliking the sound of propellers, she was unable to get close to the boat as it was moving. Storms suddenly broke out around them, far exceeded expectations. Even the bronze mirror was not enough to calm it, and the sea churned and roiled around them as if the heavens themselves were unleashing their wrath. Let's see. The ship sank. So they rushed to their aid, seeing as they fitted Yuza with a life buoy, got himself on the boat. Couple clung desperately to the sinking boat as it tossed by the waves. Tosuke was composed. Sobe had no time for pleasantries. Consumed by the thought of getting to safety, she tried to carry them all, but even a single person proved to be almost too much for her. Lacked the strength needed to tow the boat out of danger. Even with her nature as a mermaid, was allowed to... okay. Feel distress. Sobe was overcome by a sense of despair. Frantic, she tried to take only Mare with her in a bid to escape the sinking boat, but Mare rebuffed her. No intention of being the one saved. They pleaded for Yuza to be saved.
Save my baby!
My baby! She refused. She prepared to bid farewell, but parting like this was too painful. She continued to apologize, concerned for her friend's safety. See, most feelings came into sharp, deep down, resented Yuza and Tosuke with all her being. Happy as long as she had Mari, but Mari had her family to love as well, and yet it was Sobe herself who wished for Mari to find happiness by starting a family of her own. Overwhelmed by unfamiliar emotions of conflict and self-loathing, she found herself unable to think clearly. Smiling as she clung to the sinking boat, half submerged in sea, Mara thanked Zoe for her friendship and told her that the happiest day she spent had been some of her with her had been okay. Devastated, every part of her rejected the entire situation. Didn't want to hear Mara bid farewell. She was very sad. She couldn't ignore Mari's pleas, though. She headed to rescue Yuza, overall resenting the boy for the tremendous love Mari bore for him. Okay, when she found he was barely clinging to life, caught herself feeling almost satisfied at the sight, thinking it served him right. Because then she could have saved Mare, but she chose instead to drag the dying boy out of the whirlpool and pulling a piece of her own tail, forcibly fed it to him. Since driving her at this point, her desire to feel Mare's wishes or hate it, even Sobe couldn't say. Carrying Yuza out of the reach of the storm, went to rescue Mare. Found her after 3 days of searching, but...
she was dead. She dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yep. See, she wept over the body. Laid her to rest on the seabed. Several days later, the entrance to Rigu was unsealed, and Sobe, now with no remaining attachment to the moral world, made to return by herself. Before so, she met Mari's sister, thinking to reclaim the mermaid's relic from her. Were put off by the woman's blatant avarice, she found herself unable to muster any interest in her, and ultimately returned without reclaiming the relic, despite knowing full well the misfortune it could bring. Okay. There is something you can do. Okay. Okay, Mary's flesh has been transferred into their current holder. The box may claim it as their own from the evening of August 7th.
Okay.
Excellent. Alright, well, we got it.
And now, there are a couple endings we can do with this, depending on who has the tamatotobaka.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the main one.
Yeah,
Which, let's check that out.
Yeah.
Because we've already got everything set up for
Yeah.
that. Alright, back to the, menu.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So we go back to the conclusion, resume,
Start from
the bay.
bay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I'm gonna die! I'm gonna Jedi vanish! My roots are just gonna fall to the ground like Yoda's or like Obi-Wan Kenobi's.
Actually...
So, funny thing.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, check the box.
Open the box for a sec. Hi, buddy.
Hello. Let's see. Yep, the flesh of the mermaid. Oath of making Sato mortal again for him to die so they may live 800 more years together. However, we expected multiple curses to strike Kamishima at the very same time. Yeah, the raging waves and the Tomashige. In a way, yes. Hello. Let's see. August 7th, Yuzo went diving and searched Kamishima for leads to find mermaids. However, that night, Ikoma sent Kikuo, Tatsuya, an assassin to cause a tragedy of Kamishima, thereby allowing him to capture Sato. This shifted Yuzo's priorities away from his search for the mermaid chef as he tragically killed and his mission ends in failure. It seemed that fulfilling his wishes was never in the cards, and he instead met with a terrible fate. However, the consciousness lingering within his severed head witnessed something inexplicable. A sight of an 800-year-old immortal body regenerating a new head. That new mind, complete with all memories intact, formed inside the regenerated head of the resurrected Yuza. Severed head disappeared, yet the consciousness that remained within it did not return to its body. It became a spirit that crossed over to the afterlife of what some might call the eternal world. Another consciousness separate from Yuza, primary body formed. And that's us! Just who am I, but I may assume the answer has now become clear. Separated consciousness remains in the eternal world despite the firm resolve it had, growing ever more anguish over its failure without knowing what had occurred afterwards. Julia desired to find a way to return to its past self and explain the situation before this failure could take place. Found its way to the boundary between mortal world and the world beyond. It went to Ryugu! Yeah? Apparently. Yeah? Stroke of luck there. Some memories flack once you pass through the gate into the mortal realm. You stepped in to humbly guide us along the way. Okay. As a spirit, you encountered Yuza during his dying.
So that was us meeting us.
Man, that's trippy. Similar phenomenon known as the Tomakazuki, referred to as such. Yeah, needless to say we weren't. Let's see, that's how we possessed Yuza and shared fragmented memories. Even so, was not enough. Spirit form had the ability to use the story chart and travel across space and time to possess other individuals. Enter the minds and memories of various people, jumping between each in turn as you earnestly sought to realize your goals. And that's how things progressed behind the scenes. Welp. Well, thank you.
August 31st.
The day after your birthday. Let's see. Okay, she's gonna accept the inheritance. But going to school first. Makes sense. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. You know, that is fair. Help with what? Damn.
You'll be a good mayor, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess technically it would be $7.95 since he's
Got 5 years in the can already.
Yeah.
How are you gonna get more mermaid flesh?
Yeah, since she's not gonna talk to us again. Unless it was like maybe they just bit a little piece of the mermaid flesh.
Yep.
And they're saving it. How are you gonna... That's not gonna solve anything.
What are these rules? And you may want to workshop them.
Yeah. A shrine.
Okay.
Oh.
They did go through a hell of a lot to get to this point.
They really did. fair.
Who drowned in the water repeatedly? This is a heartwarming ending.
It is. There is a legend in Kamishima. It is a story passed down through the generations about two gods in the guise of a young woman and a young man. They would often leave their shrine disguised as ordinary humans and happily stroll through the town. On occasion, they would sneak off the island and travel around the country before returning home. People on the island would stop and give a small bow whenever they came across the couple, and silently watch as they went on their way. No one knew from whence the pair had come. Their history was shrouded in mystery. But it is said that this mischievously playful and intimately harmonious couple would always look upon one another with pure joy. There was apparently only one inviolable rule concerning the pair. One must never snoop at the
Wah.
Wah. Several decades after those events, the country has seen 2 new emperors reign, and people with any detailed knowledge of those fateful days have grown few and far between. Now, the Kantakisha ruins of Kamishima have become a sacred place for lovers, with couples flocking to it to strengthen their bonds, and possibly look for bird stickers. On this day, the young visitors who happen to come see the sights spot a young man and a young woman together on the roof of the Kantakisha ruins, gazing happily out to sea. Okay, I guess that's the true ending.
Yeah. On one hand, I feel like it makes less sense for the storyteller to be here in this one. On the other hand, I kind of like the narrative of this one better.
Yeah.
And some of the gameplay gimmicks are a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, like the puzzle solving we had to do in Avi's chapter with the map and the box.
Yeah, among other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, this...
Solid game?
Yeah, another really good one of these.
Yeah.
And, supposedly they're talking about making more of these.
Yeah, and I know there's going to be a manga for the one girl in the first game. The one with the pentagram in her hair.
I think it's come out in Japan, and I think it actually shows Cersei meeting her.
Oh, cool.
Cersei might go, squee. But yeah, this is still a really good series.
Uh-huh, considering they only have 2 at this point. I hope this becomes a bigger thing, because these games are great.
Yeah, it's funny how, Square Enix has their big properties, and, we couldn't give a shit about those.
Yeah, Final Fantasy's always gonna be big enough. They've been doing a lot more with Octopath Traveler, which
Octopath Traveler is considered, their B-tier stuff, and so is this, and we've been loving both of those things.
Yes.
Whereas, oh, hey, we're announcing Final Fantasy whatever, and we're just
yeah.
We don't care anymore, regrettably.
Yeah, well, they're also doing more with Dragon Quest too, so that's something.
But yeah, this is proof that they don't need, billion-dollar budgets to make a really good game.
Yeah, you just get some passionate developers and...
good writing team.
Yeah. I want to be respectful and give everybody here who worked on this game some love here. Especially since for the other endings we're probably going to be skipping past them.
Because of course it's possible for someone else to end up with a tamata.
Exactly. Also, it's always interesting that they don't have any voice acting in any of these, but they don't think they need it.
That they really don't. Not every game needs voice acting.
No.
And that is okay.
Yes.
Keith Hershey?
I doubt he's related to Milton Hershey.
He could be.
The Toba Sea Folk Museum. Also, this game was definitely a lot lighter on the horror aspects than the first game.
Yes.
Like, the most we got is like, oh no, people are getting cut in half.
And the occasional, oh shit, that guy's right behind me.
Yeah. And, you know, just all the shit that Sato dealt with, drowning constantly.
You done good, Takanori Ishiyama.
Mm-hmm. We look forward to whatever you have planned next. Oh, here we go. End.